Once upon a time, there lived a king in a small state of northern India. He was a noble and generous king. He loved truth and justice, and the subjects of his kingdom were happy and prosperous. The king had a council of ministers who often advised him in various state affairs, and the king also obeyed them truthfully.
The chief minister of the state was very learned and wise. He was a real gem in his council of ministers. The king always valued his opinions and acted on his advice. But he was getting old. So he decided to retire from his life and devote the rest of his life in the company of holy men and service of God.
One day, the chief minister expressed his desire to the king. The king became sad. He knew that it was very difficult to find a suitable man as wise as the chief minister to look after the state affairs. However, he did not want to stop him from following his wish. So he politely asked the minister to search for a suitable person who could take up the responsibilities of the state affairs after him. The chief minister agreed.
The chief minister thought for some days and then asked the royal announcer to announce that a sports meet would be held in the capital next month. All the young men of the kingdom should take part in that meet. He also announced that the most eligible participant would be appointed in the royal court. The chief minister himself would judge the person amongst all the participants. The announcement sent a wave of excitement among the young men of the kingdom. Everybody was interested to take part in the sports meet and serve the royal court. So, young men in large numbers from every nook and corner of the kingdom assembled in the capital to try their luck. The chief minister asked his men to lodge those participants in the royal guest house and look after them well. All of them were allowed to spend their time in the way they liked.
The young men in the royal guest house were quite happy. They were getting good food and everything they needed without any cost. Some of them loved to spend their time in idle gossip. Some would love just to sleep away the day, and some others spent their time in reading books. Meanwhile, the chief minister had asked a few of his trusted men to secretly keep a watch on the activities of these young men. Every day he would call a group of young men from them, ask them simple questions, and would send them back after selecting only one of the participants. Many days passed in this way, and at last only a few of them were left. At last, the chief minister announced the date of the sports meet. The participants were asked to assemble in a big ground early in the morning where they had to show their skills. The king, accompanied by the chief minister and some other courtiers, came to watch their talents. All the participants knew well that it was their last test before one of them could get a good job in the royal court. Therefore, each of them was eager to do his best. They participated in different games. None of them were inferior to the other in any way. Nevertheless, the first three winners of every game were retained for the next round. At last, there were only 15 candidates left.
The last event of the day was a marathon race. The participants were asked to go round the main market area of the capital within a stipulated time. The winner of the race would get an appointment.
The race began. One of the young men ran so fast that he soon overtook all the other candidates. They covered the market area and started returning to the game's arena. The man was still well ahead of all the other participants. Everybody was sure that he would win the race and get his prize. Suddenly he stopped. There, on the side of the road, was laying an old man, groaning in great pain. He hesitated for a moment, looked back at the other contestants, and then turned and moved towards the old man.
The old man had strained one of his legs. He was unable to stand or move. The man sat beside him and with great care helped him stand on his feet. Then he accompanied the old man up to his house on the other side of the road.
By the time he came back, it was too late. All the participants had already reached the arena. Sadly, the man entered the arena and stood behind the happy participants. The chief minister was watching everything from his seat. Soon he came down to announce the winner of the day. He announced the name of the winner and, as promised, offered him a good job in the royal court. Then he gave away prizes to the other participants also. At last he came to the young man.
You failed to finish your race in the stipulated time. Therefore, you are not entitled for any prize.
He said. The man hung his head sadly but said nothing. The chief minister thanked all the participants and requested them to return home. The next day, a messenger of the king's court came to the man and gave him a letter from the king. He read the letter, which said the real aim of the sports meet was not only to test the talents of the participants but also moral characters. Actually, I am in need of a man who has not only physical abilities but also qualities of heart like compassion, pity, sympathy, and kindness, so that he can look after my subjects and work selflessly for their welfare. You have successfully passed in both the tests. Therefore, my chief minister, who has grown old and wished to retire from active life, has suggested me your name as the right man to be appointed as the next chief minister of the kingdom. Based upon his advice, I have decided to. The young man could read no further, as his eyes were full of tears of joy and happiness.